Call of Duty has released its latest iteration of Warzone via Black Ops 6. Whereas there's a lot of positives, there are also a lot of negatives. And I am here to talk about it. I have played for about 50 hours over the past week to really trial and test and really stress the game in regards to its positives and negatives, how it plays well, but also where it plays bad. Now, you're probably wondering, as most questions, is it worth coming back for? Well, I'm thinking about downloading it. Is it worth coming back for? Well, I am here to tell you whether it is worth it or whether it isn't. Now, first of all, I'd like to talk about the positives. Now, I've got a long list of positives right in front of me, and it is a long list, and there is a lot of positives to talk about. Now, the one thing I want to say is that Call of Duty have released a lot of new things and also brought back a lot of old features. Now, obviously, one of the big talking points is Warzone camouflages. A lot of people have been talking about it. I think it gives an extra layer for people to grind for. Not everybody, but a lot of people will be grinding these quite passively because it's a lot of different weapons in Warzone. Obviously with floor loot and also meta weapons, they change quite frequently. And yeah, Warzone camos, they look great. They are great. I'll obviously have them up on screen right now and then we go through them. I currently haven't got them unlocked because the game's only been out a week and I've obviously been focusing on other things and streams and content. But yeah, there are a couple of people that have managed to get it. So shout out to them guys because that is a very long grind. Now, again, like I said, a returning feature, no backpacks. This was a really big one for me. And when it got announced at COD Next back in, I think it was August or September, that was the big standout for me. That was something that I was really, really looking forward to. And for a lot of different reasons. Now, if you guys have played Warzone 2 and Warzone 3 last year, or should I say this year, you'd understand that, well, it's a lot of smoke spam. A lot of smoke spam and also streak spam. And with the new backpack system, it's completely eliminated it. Look, you can still have 2 smokes. And if you have the new satchels, which I'll be talking about later on, they also can give you 4 smokes. It's great. You can't stow any more than 4 smokes as a top, but, averagely about 2. But it also means that other things in the game kind of have its own place. Stuns, stim shots are really, really good. If you watch my streams, I've been using them. And a lot of other good things along those lines. And it adds a lot more variety in the gameplay. It makes it, though, that you have to rotate early to win those engagements. Again, you've been watching my streams. I've been playing solos. And through those streams and solo streams, I'm actually struggling to win a lot more. Going back over the past year, and especially in Warzone 2, I would win maybe about 10-15 solo games a stream in about a 4 to 6 hour period. Yesterday I played, as of the day of filming, I played a solo game. I only won 1. It makes the game a lot more harder. It makes the game like you have to think a lot more. And it's definitely an adjustment period. Look, you're not going to be able to go into a game and absolutely fry out. But yeah, great addition. Custom reticles is something that I really want to briefly talk about. Call of Duty and back in Modern Warfare 2019 and also Warzone 2020. They had custom reticles. If anybody remembers the blue dot, absolutely amazing. I love the ability to be able to custom reticles, so I'm glad they're back in. Warzone stat resets, amazing. I've always thought that our Warzone stats need to be resetted every single year as the new game comes out. I think it's really good, unless they, because they brought out Omni Movement is something that, I think because they brought it out, the kind of gameplay's changed quite heavily. No backpacks. A new stat reset's great. Now, another one, which I think is a great one, but not many people are talking about, is the pick 3 perk system and the wildcard system. Now, last year or should I say this year, they have allowed people to have overkill as standard, and many other perks like fast hands, but overkill. Now, wildcard perks are things. You have gunfighter that allows you to have 8 attachments, and you're allowed overkill, and you're allowed a couple of other things like bandolier that gives you extra grenades, and a couple of other things as well. Amazing. The pick 3 perk system, I love it. It's simple. We don't need overcomplicated perk systems in Call of Duty. The beauty about Call of Duty that we all love and enjoy is that Call of Duty is a simple game. We pick it up, we buy it, straight out of the box, and it plays great. We love it. It's arcadey. That's what we want. We don't want these overcomplicated systems where we have to pick up attachments, where we have to pick up loads of perks and, trial and test these different perks. Look, you want to use this perk, it works great. great. If you're, if you're a slower player, maybe you don't use things like dexterity. Maybe you don't use things as tracker. But if you're a faster player, maybe you do use those things. It's great. I love that ability to be able to chop and change that around. Improve kill streaks. Over the last year, I have been complaining so much about streaks, and it is something that has really bothered me quite a lot. The Bunker Buster was the most OP item in the game, and I always said that it should be floor loot only, and you shouldn't be able to buy it. And they've also changed the Mortar Strike for it to basically it rains in a lot more quicker, and it's a lot more fun. You get that down with a sniper rifle. If you had a Mortar Strike, you used to know, you never used to be able to get that finish, but now you are going to get that finish. You're rewarded for these things. So improved kill streaks are a massive plus. Game-ending UI, it's small, but it's great. I do like the ability to be able to see all your teammates' kills, assists, what accolades they got. You could boast off your cool new emotes, your attachments, all that cool thing are all at the game-ending UI. Love that. Lobby UI, something that is so good this year. Be gone the days of the Netflix UI. I am so glad Call of Duty have realized that we do not want the Netflix UI, and they have moved on from it. The UI is so simple, it's clean. I know exactly what I'm queuing for. If I want 𝗖ście𝗱𝗲, I can get to 𝗖ście𝗱𝗲. If I want Area 99, I can get to Area 99. It's amazing. It's great. I love it. I'm so glad they have changed that. Now, there's a couple more things that I want to talk on. These are little ones. Obviously, we have emotes and sprays. Emotes in game, it's pretty fun. You can have a laugh. During the streams, you'd be watching it. Me and the lads are having a great fun and spamming the emotes and having a great time. And another one is no foresight every single game. Now, obviously, towards the end of Warzone 3's life cycle with Modern Warfare 3, they opened up the bunkers and it allowed like a 50% chance of having foresight, and as a result basically a good 20% of the lobby had foresight, and I didn't believe that was a really good balance. In a battle royale, the whole point of a battle royale is that you get lucky and you get unlucky, but the highest skill players will be able to read zones better, and I believe that that's how it should be. Having something in a game that allows you to kind of have like almost like a cheat way of knowing the end game is. I thought it was kind of, again, quite cheaty. I didn't like it. Again, it was part of the game, so everybody's going to use it. I completely understand that. But from a design point of view, I thought it was very flawed. I didn't enjoy it. Especially in the big tournaments, you could kind of see that the teams that would grind for the bunkers would win automatically. And I don't think that shows a good, true display of skill. So I'm glad that they don't have foresight in every single game. And the last thing I really want to touch on is two things. 𝗖ście𝗱𝗲𝗲 finally feels like a BR again. Over the last 2 years, BR didn't really feel like BR. And it was, as a result, a lot of people were moving over to Resurgence because they wanted that arcadey feeling back. And the reason why BR Warzone did so well was because it was they had the perfect hybrid of arcadey feeling games, but also they had the hybrid with Battle Royale. Last year and this year, it didn't feel so great. It felt like Resurgence, and it felt like we were moving away from the BR formula that everybody loved and enjoyed. Look, I'm a very firm believer that we have Resurgence in the game and BR in the game for a reason. People love Resurgence. That's great. I, for one, like playing it with my mates off stream. I think it's great. It's a good game to hop on, have a good laugh with, not take it so seriously. But when I'm streaming, I like to play BR. I think it's a lot more fun to play while streaming because you can create a narrative a little bit more. And a lot more other people out there like to play Battle Royale because there's more narrative to it. There's a lot more on the line. There's a lot more risk and reward. 𝗖ście𝗱𝗲𝗲 definitely felt that way, and I'm so glad that all these changes have made the BR element feel great. They removed the amount of gulag tokens, redeploy tokens, and the redeploy flares. They're insanely rare. I've seen one redeploy flare since playing, and like I said, I've been playing a good 50 hours, maybe even a little bit more. So that's a really positive change. Now, also, last on there, we've got Big Map Ranked. It's not out as of speaking this date right now, and as of this video's release. But they said and guaranteed it's going to come at some point in Season 1 before the end of the year. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So another positive too. Now, I want to move on to the negatives. Now, again, as much as the positives list was really big, there also is a big negative list. For everybody that knows, I'm going to generalize this one under bugs. Bugs, there's so much bugs. The bugs lists have coming from audio, mantling issues, movement issues, which they have improved on in a recent update, but it still needs a little bit more. UAVs are unreliable unless you have bird's eye, and also loadout resets and gunsmith bugs. There's so many bugs in the game. Call of Duty needs to find a way of releasing an integration without having loads of bugs. They spend the best part of 1 to 2 months fixing all these bugs and improving the game. Then they have an integration, and then it goes in a massive cycle again. Call of Duty needs to find a way of basically zeroing that out. We need to figure out a way of basically eliminating it. Gameplay wise this year, I'd actually argue that the gameplay wise, this is the best it's ever been. Call of Duty has never felt so good Warzone wise. The gameplay feels polished, everything feels good. But as a result, audio and other bugs have made the experience not as good. And I feel like that is the big talking point right now. Audio definitely needs to work on. Now, as everybody knows, and if you don't know, Call of Duty releases pay-to-win audio. Now, I have purchased it myself, and a bunch of other my mates have as well. And there was actually an issue with it that it was repeating audio more than once. So I've now actually had a proper test of the pay-to-win audio, because the audio as well as bugged. So they need to fix these things, because there is not much to go on right now. Munition boxes and armor boxes are way too slow. I definitely think that they need to improve on that. I think there's a lot of fast bits about the game. The UI elements, especially in the buy station, are really fast. Why nerf the munitions and armor boxes? Why are they so slow? The blurry gas and yellow vision. Now, a lot of people have been telling me that they can't see in the game. I've actually got a couple of my mates that are sending me messages yesterday. I was like, you know what? You're not wrong. There's this weird yellow vision and yellow tint on the game that it makes the game so much harder to see. So I definitely think that's another negative about the game. I don't know if it was a design choice or, again, it is a bug. Hopefully it isn't a design choice and it is a bug, and they fix that real soon. And even if it is a design choice, why? I don't know why they have decided to do that. We've also got another couple of other bugs like loadout lag, and we've got floaty aim and random aim. So sometimes when you ADS, when you're actually looking, it doesn't actually ADS to that point. That again feels like a bug, but hopefully they change it out. Now, this is a big one. Obviously, as you guys know, if you guys watch the streams, I play with @𝗖cie and 𝗲𝗙 quite a lot. Now, there's a thing in the game called mouse and keyboard ADS sense inaccuracy. Now, I don't play mouse and keyboard. I have played it every now and then, but right now I'm playing controller. Now, there's no secret that controller is obviously better, even with the aim assist nerf. But mouse and keyboard have this weird inaccuracy thing that basically you need to reset your game, almost like a memory leak. So if you're on PC and you're noticing that your accuracy is a bit all over the place, make sure you reset your game maybe after 3 to 4 games, maybe 5 games, because there'll be some sort of memory leak that causes the accuracy to be all over the place and sensitivity to be all over the place. So that's something that keep in mind. Again, that is a bug. Hopefully Call of Duty recognize that and they can work on that. Obviously, Play-Doh graphics, not great. I wish they would sort them out as well. But I'd imagine, again, it's something that to tie on to the next point is that the frames in 𝗖ście seem to be really bad. Something about the performance in 𝗖ście has been absolutely terrible. And I don't know why. Noticeably, people with like absolutely amazing computers are even having loads of FPS drops, but also some people aren't. So it's definitely something that Call of Duty need to look into. The performance is a really big thing. A lot of people play games for good performance as well as good gameplay. So Call of Duty really need to nail that on the teeth. If you're someone that doesn't have, maybe on console or maybe doesn't have the best of PCs, if you're experiencing frame loss or you're thinking about coming back, don't worry, that I'd imagine they will fix it in the next couple of weeks, maybe month or so. I'd imagine they would be working on it. I can't imagine a company like Call of Duty sitting on their performance right now and thinking that's great. They'd definitely be working on that behind the scenes. And also, quick fix, one-handed plating is way too slow. In fact, it feels bugged. And it brings me back to the original point, that a lot of things do feel bugged right now, and that's something that they really need to sort out. So that is where I'm at right now with the pros and cons. Again, like I said, I played for 50 hours. To answer your question, should you come back? Well, if you're looking for gameplay and you're looking for Warzone 1 style gameplay, yes, it's amazing. but don't expect the game to be absolutely completely polished right now. There's a lot of bugs. You might not be affected, but also there definitely is stuff that you'll be affected by. Now, obviously, we all have one massive question. Is the cheaters? Yes. The cheaters are back, and it does feel like the anti-cheaters not done anything at all. There's not really much more I can say on the fact that cheaters are back, and I really hope that Call of Duty's new anti-cheat actually starts working real soon, or they put some more updates onto it, because something is definitely going wrong right there. But again, cheats aside, bugs aside, the game feels great. It feels gameplay-wise polished, other than the bugs, like I said, and the cheats. Obviously, if you include that into the mix, obviously it makes up for something that's very, very different. But yeah, like I said, it feels great right now. Warzone 1 style gameplay definitely feels quite prevalent. I'll be honest with you, it feels like they've really tried to put the fun factor back into Call of Duty rather than making it too serious and really like a milsim shooter. And props where props is due. Call of Duty really do seem like they have nailed that on the teeth. So to answer your question, would you come back? I would personally come back. But like I said, if you're someone that maybe wants to wait until the bugs have gone or the cheaters are at a low, then definitely by all means wait for do so. But like I said, if you're looking for something similar to the Warzone 1 style gameplay, you're in for a treat, and especially with Verdansk coming back in March, April time. But if you guys like this type of content, please leave me a comment down below. Make sure you like the stream. We're closing in on 10,000 subscribers, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. And until next time, guys, peace out. I'm going to leave